The alien fleet regrouped at the edge of human space, but they had lost over 800 ships in the first battle. Velmoth floated in his command chamber, his crystal body dim with shock. Never in 10,000 years had the Council faced such resistance. How is this possible? He demanded of his tactical officers. These humans were supposed to be primitive. Sir, they have weapons we don't understand, reported Commander Zekthor. Their ships can appear and disappear at will. Their weapons ignore our shields. It's like they've learned to control space itself. Velmoth's form pulsed with angry red light. Impossible. No species can master dark energy. We've studied it for millennia without success. Perhaps that was our mistake, suggested Science Officer Yildana. We studied it. They used it. On Earth, Minho Choi revealed humanity's greatest secret to the Emergency Council. In the depths of the Pacific Ocean, massive structures rose from the sea floor. They had been building them in secret for 8 years, disguised as deep-sea mining operations. Behold Project Olympus, Minho announced, as the ocean platforms breached the surface. Each one was the size of a city, covered in dark energy generators and weapons that could strike targets across the galaxy. You turned our entire solar system into a weapon, breathed the Japanese Prime Minister. Not just our solar system, Minho replied with a grim smile. Watch. On the tactical displays, Jupiter's great red spot began to change. The massive storm, larger than Earth itself, started to spin faster. Lightning danced between its clouds, but this was not normal lightning. It was dark energy, weaponized and controlled by human technology. We seeded the storm with our generators 3 years ago, Minho explained. Now Jupiter itself fights for humanity. The great planet's electromagnetic field reached out across space, disrupting alien ship systems. Their navigation failed. Their weapons lost power. Their shields flickered and died. Saturn's rings began to glow with dark energy. The ice and rock particles became projectiles moving at incredible speeds. Any alien ship that tried to pass through the outer solar system found itself bombarded by millions of high-velocity impacts. Yu Jin Han stood in her laboratory, watching her life's work exceed every dream she had ever had. The dark energy readings were off all her charts. Her assistant, Jaiwan, worked frantically at his console. Doctor, I'm reading massive energy buildups throughout human space, he reported. It's not just our generators anymore. It's like space itself is responding to us. Yujin studied the data with growing amazement. I think I understand now. Dark energy isn't just a force we can control. It's connected to consciousness, to will, to emotion. 8 billion humans, all focused on survival, all angry at the threat to their children. We're not just using dark energy anymore. We're becoming part of it. She turned to the communications system. Admiral Park, this is Dr. Han. I have something incredible to report. Boram Seo led humanity's counterattack deep into alien territory. Her ship, now fully equipped with perfected dark energy systems, could travel instantly across vast distances. Behind her followed a fleet of converted civilian ships, all burning with human determination. Target their supply bases, she ordered her fleet. We're not just defending anymore. We're taking the fight to them. The human ships appeared in orbit around alien worlds without warning, but instead of attacking cities or civilians, they struck military installations with surgical precision. Weapons factories exploded. Fleet yards became scrap metal. Supply depots vanished in dark energy fire. This is impossible, alien commanders reported to their homeworlds. The humans are attacking dozens of systems simultaneously. How can they be everywhere at once? The answer was simple but terrifying. Humanity had learned to use their anger as fuel for their technology. Every threat to their families made their weapons stronger. Every fallen human ship made the survivors fight harder. The aliens had awakened something they didn't understand and couldn't defeat. Dong Hyun Bae found himself commanding a force of 3,000 civilian ships, all crewed by ordinary people who had become extraordinary warriors. His miners, teachers, and farmers flew their converted vessels with skill that amazed professional military officers. Sir, alien reinforcements approaching from the Galactic Core, reported his sensor operator, a former librarian named Sun Hee. How many ships? Dong Hyun asked. 2,000, sir. Fresh fleet from the Vorthon Empire. Dong Hyun smiled. Then we'll give them the same welcome we gave the others. All ships prepare for dark energy jump. We're going to hit them before they know we're there. The civilian fleet vanished from normal space, traveling through dark energy tunnels that bent reality itself. They appeared in the middle of the alien reinforcement fleet like wolves among sheep. What followed wasn't a battle. It was a demonstration of what happened when ordinary people fought for their families' lives. Tae-hyun coordinated the defense of human colonies across dozens of star systems. Every mining station, every research outpost, every small settlement had been secretly armed and reinforced. The aliens found no easy targets, only fortresses manned by determined humans. "Sir, we're getting reports from the frontier colonies," Chanwoo informed him. "The Caloran fleet tried to destroy the mining station at Proxima Centauri." "Tried?" Tae-hyun asked. "The miners opened up with hidden weapons and destroyed 12 alien cruisers before they knew what hit them. The Calorans are retreating." Tae-hyun nodded with satisfaction. Every human settlement was now a military base. Every civilian was now a soldier. The entire human species had become a weapon aimed at anyone who threatened their freedom. General Woo Jin-nam watched as Earth's ultimate defense came online. The planet's entire core had been secretly converted into a massive dark energy generator. The magnetic field that protected Earth from cosmic radiation now crackled with weaponized force. "Sir, the alien fleet is regrouping for another attack on Earth," his aide reported. "Let them come," Woo Jin replied calmly. "They wanted to see what humans are capable of. Today, they'll get their wish." As the alien ships approached Earth, the planet's magnetic field reached out to meet them. Space itself became their enemy. Ships lost power, weapons failed, engines died. The mighty Council fleet found itself helpless before a planet that had transformed itself into the ultimate fortress. Ye-won Kim intercepted a desperate transmission from the alien fleet. "Commander, you need to hear this," she told Jinwoo. The recording played Velmoth's voice, filled with something no one had ever heard from him before: fear. "To all Council forces, this is High Arbiter Velmoth. The humans are not what we thought. They have turned their entire solar system into a weapon. Their ships can appear anywhere in the galaxy instantly. They fight with a coordination we cannot match and weapons we cannot understand. We may have made a terrible mistake." Jinwoo smiled coldly. "They're just figuring that out now?" "There's more, sir," Hee-won continued. "They're calling for a full withdrawal. The other species are starting to question whether the Council made the right choice. Good. Let them question. Let them fear. Let them remember what happens when you threaten humanity's children." The battle had expanded beyond the solar system. Human ships struck across the galaxy, appearing without warning to destroy military targets. Every alien species that had voted for humanity's extinction found their fleets burning in space. But humans didn't attack civilians. They didn't destroy cities. They fought with a precision and morality that confused their enemies. How could a species be so gentle to the innocent and so terrible to their foes? Yoo Jin-han had the answer. "We're not monsters," she explained to the War Council. "We're parents protecting our children. We'll destroy anyone who threatens our families, but we won't become the thing we're fighting against." The dark energy field around Earth continued to grow. It was visible now to the naked eye, a shimmering aurora that danced through space. Other species across the galaxy could see it on their instruments. A warning beacon that said one thing clearly: humanity would never surrender. Velmoth made his final transmission to the Council home worlds. His crystal body was cracked and dim, his voice barely a whisper. "We awakened something terrible," he said. "We thought their emotions made them weak. We were wrong. Their emotions made them gods of war. The Council was too late to act, too late to understand, too late to stop what we ourselves created. The heavens had indeed darkened with Earth's fury, and the galaxy would never be the same." The Council's surrender message arrived on a simple communication beam, transmitted on all frequencies so every human in the galaxy would hear it. Velmoth's voice was barely recognizable, broken and filled with something no Council member had ever felt before: complete defeat. "To the human species," the High Arbiter began, "the Galactic Council formally requests immediate cessation of hostilities. We withdraw our ultimatum. We wish to negotiate terms of peace." In the command bunker beneath Earth, So-min Park listened to the message with cold satisfaction. Around her, officers and politicians waited for her response. The weight of humanity's future rested on her next words. "Too late," she said simply into the microphone. "The time for negotiation ended 72 hours ago when you threatened our families." Hyun-Soo Lee, the diplomat, stepped forward. "Admiral, perhaps we should consider—" "No," So-min cut him off. "They had their chance for peace. They chose war. Now they get to see what humans do to those who threaten our children. Across the galaxy, Yu Jin Han's greatest achievement was coming to its full power. The dark energy field that surrounded human space had grown beyond all expectations. It wasn't just a weapon anymore, it was a communication system that reached every corner of the universe. "Doctor, we're receiving reports from our deep space monitors," Jae-won told her with amazement in his voice. "The dark energy field is carrying our signals to every inhabited world in the galaxy." "Every species can hear us," Yujin smiled. This was the moment she had dreamed of. Not just victory in battle, but the chance to speak truth to the entire galaxy. "Open the channel," she ordered. "Let everyone hear this." Her voice went out across billions of light years, carried by the dark energy field that human will and human fury had created. Every species in the galaxy heard her words clearly in their own language. "People of the galaxy," Yujin began. "This is Dr. Yujin Han of Earth. For too long, the Council has ruled through fear and force. They told you that might makes right, that the strong should control the weak. Today we prove them wrong. On distant worlds, alien civilians stopped their daily activities to listen. This was the first time anyone had challenged the Council's authority in thousands of years. We humans offered you peace," Yujin continued. "We offered trade, friendship, and cooperation. The Council chose to respond with threats of extinction. They forgot something important. Freedom is not given, it is taken. And once taken, it is defended by any means necessary." Boram Seo led the final assault on the Council's home fleet. Her ships didn't destroy the alien vessels completely. Instead, they disabled them, leaving them floating helpless in space. The message was clear. Humans could kill you, but they chose mercy. "This is Captain Seo of the Earth Defense Force," she broadcast to the disabled alien ships. "Your weapons are offline, your engines are dead, your shields are down. You are alive because we allow it. Remember this kindness when you vote on humanity's future." The alien crews sat in their darkened ships, understanding for the first time what it meant to be completely at another species' mercy. The humans could have killed them all easily. Instead, they offered life. Donghyun Bay's civilian fleet appeared in orbit around the Council capital world. His miners, teachers, and farmers had traveled across the galaxy to deliver humanity's final message. But they didn't attack the cities below. They simply waited, a silent threat hanging in the alien sky. "People of Velkorith Prime," Donghyun announced to the planet below, "this is Commander Bay of the Human Colonial Defense Force. Look up at your sky and see ships crewed by civilians, by teachers who left their classrooms to defend their students, by miners who left their tunnels to protect their families, by ordinary people who became warriors because you threatened their children." On the planet's surface, millions of aliens looked up at the human fleet. They had expected monsters, conquerors who would burn their cities and enslave their people. Instead, they found protectors who fought only for the right to exist in peace. Tai Hyun-yoon coordinated the occupation of strategic alien worlds. But this wasn't a normal occupation. Human forces secured military installations and government buildings, then immediately began providing aid to civilian populations. "Sir, the local aliens are confused," Chan Wu reported. "They expected us to start killing them. Instead, our medical teams are treating their wounded and our engineers are helping repair the damage from the battle." Taehyun nodded. "That's the human way. We destroy our enemies, but we protect the innocent. Make sure our people understand. We're not here as conquerors. We're here to ensure this never happens again." General Wu Jin Nam established military governments on dozens of former council worlds. But these governments had a single mission: to protect local populations while ensuring they never again threatened humanity. The alien civilians found themselves safer under human protection than they had ever been under council rule. Jin Woo Kim received reports from across the galaxy. Human forces had struck fast and hard, crippling the council's military might in a matter of days. But they had done so with a precision that amazed even their enemies. "Casualties?" he asked Haiwon Kim. "Minimal civilian deaths on all sides, sir," she reported. "Our forces followed the rules of war better than the Council ever did. The aliens are starting to realize we're not the monsters their leaders said we were." "Good, what about Council military forces? Destroyed or surrendered?" "The few ships still fighting are being hunted down, but most alien commanders are laying down their arms voluntarily. The final battle came at the Council's greatest fortress, a massive space station that had ruled the galaxy for 10,000 years. Somin Park led the assault personally, her flagship surrounded by the combined might of humanity's improvised fleet. The station's commander, an ancient being called the Supreme Coordinator, sent one last desperate message: "Humans, you have won, but consider what you are destroying. The Council has maintained order in the galaxy for millennia. Without us, there will be chaos." Somin's response was broadcast across the galaxy. "You call slavery order. You call oppression peace when you are right about one thing. We are destroying your system. But we're not leaving chaos in its place. We're leaving something better, freedom." The dark energy weapons fired one last time. The Council's fortress, symbol of galactic oppression for 10,000 years, broke apart like glass. But even in this final moment, human precision showed. The weapons destroyed only the military sections, leaving the civilian areas intact. Yu Jin Han stood in her laboratory, watching as her dark energy field reached its full potential. The space around Earth pulsed with power that came not from machines, but from the combined will of 8 billion humans who refused to surrender their freedom. "Doctor, the energy readings are stabilizing," J1 reported. "The field is becoming permanent. It will protect human space forever." Yujin smiled. "Not just protect. It will remind the galaxy that some species will choose death over slavery, and it will ensure that any species facing extinction has somewhere to turn for help." The war was over. The Council's ships drifted powerless in space. Their fortresses lay in ruins. Their 10,000-year reign of terror had ended in a matter of days, broken by a species they had dismissed as primitive. But humans didn't celebrate with parades or victory speeches. Instead, they immediately began the work of building something better. Somin Park addressed the galaxy one final time. Her words were carried by the dark energy field to every inhabited world, every species that had lived under Council rule. "People of the galaxy, this is Admiral Somin Park of United Earth. The Council that enslaved you for millennia is no more. But we did not destroy them to rule you ourselves. We destroyed them to set you free." She paused, looking out at the stars that humans had claimed not through conquest but through courage. "We offer you trade instead of tribute, friendship instead of fear, cooperation instead of domination. Some of you will accept our offer. Others will not. That is your choice to make, and we will respect it. But know this: never again will any species face extinction while humanity draws breath. The dark energy field that surrounds our space is not just our shield. It is our promise. Freedom, once defended with such fury, will never again be taken for granted." 1 year later, Yujin Han worked in her laboratory with scientists from dozens of species, all of them free to pursue knowledge without fear. The dark energy technology that had won humanity's war now powered hospitals, farms and schools across the galaxy. Velmoth, his crystal form slowly healing in a human medical facility, spoke with reporters about the transformation of galactic society. "We feared humanity because we thought their emotions made them dangerous," he said quietly. "We were right to fear them, but wrong about why. Their emotions didn't make them dangerous. They made them unstoppable when fighting for what they loved." Somin Park commanded the new Terran Space Patrol, a volunteer force that protected trade routes and young civilizations. Former enemies now served alongside humans, learning that strength was best used to protect the weak, not exploit them. The galaxy had learned its lesson. The heavens remained darkened with Earth's fury, not as a threat but as a promise. The dark energy field that surrounded human space pulsed with the heartbeat of 8 billion souls Dumai. 60 hours remained when Somin Park walked into the secret bunker beneath the Swiss mountains. The elevator ride took 5 minutes to reach the bottom. When the doors opened, she saw the biggest military operation room she had ever imagined. Hundreds of screens covered the walls. Officers from every nation worked at control stations. The air buzzed with electricity and tension. At the center of it all stood a massive hologram of human space showing every planet, every station, every ship. "Welcome to Operation Nightfall," Minho said as he joined her. "We've been building this for 10 years. Somin stared at the displays. Ships were moving everywhere. Not just military ships, but civilian craft, cargo haulers, even passenger liners. All of them were heading to battle positions. "How many people knew about this?" she asked. "More than you think." "Less than we needed." Minho pointed to a screen showing factory outputs. "Every major industrial planet has been secretly making weapons. The car factories, the electronics plants, the food processors. They all had hidden production lines. On the screen, Somin watched as normal-looking cargo ships opened their hulls to reveal missile batteries. Passenger liners sprouted gun turrets from their sides. Mining vessels showed their true nature as heavily armored warships. The aliens have been watching us for decades, Minho continued, but they only saw what we wanted them to see. They counted our official military ships. They never imagined that our entire industrial base was a weapon factory. In another part of the bunker, Yujin Han worked with her research team. They had been awake for 36 hours straight, running calculations and building devices that had never been tested. Her hands shook from too much coffee and too little sleep. "Doctor, the dark energy readings are off the charts," her assistant Jaewon said. He looked worried. "Are you sure this is safe?" Yujin wiped sweat from her forehead. "Nothing about this is safe, but it might be our only chance." She looked at the machine they had built. It was the size of a small building, filled with cables and glowing crystals. The aliens thought dark energy was impossible to control. They were wrong. Humans had found a way to harness the power that held the universe together. "The theory is simple," Yujin explained to the military observers. "Dark energy pushes space apart, but if we can reverse the process, we can pull space together. We can make our ships travel instantly across vast distances. We can bend space around our weapons to make them hit harder." "Will it work?" asked General Wu Jin Nam. "In our small tests, yes, but we've never tried it on this scale." Yujin gestured to the readings on her screens. "We're about to find out if humans can control the fundamental forces of reality." Above Jupiter, Donghyun Bei floated in his command ship, disguised as a mining barge. Around him, 300 similar vessels drifted through the asteroid belt. To any watching aliens, they looked like ordinary workers searching for valuable rocks. "All pilots, this is Commander Bei," he spoke into his radio. "You've trained for this moment for 5 years. Today we find out if civilians can become warriors." Donghyun thought about his crew. They were teachers, farmers, engineers, students. None of them were supposed to be soldiers. But when humanity's survival was at stake, everyone became a soldier. "Remember your training," he continued. "The aliens fight like they always have for thousands of years. They follow patterns, rules, traditions. We don't, that's our advantage." His second-in-command, a former schoolteacher named Mi Young, checked her weapon systems. "Sir, all ships report ready. The mining equipment conversion is complete," Donghyun smiled. The aliens had watched humans mine asteroids for years. They never realized that rock-cutting lasers could be easily modified into ship-killing beams. They never suspected that ore haulers were built with military-grade armor and engines. On Mars, Taehyun Yoon stood in the command center of what looked like a simple mining complex. But beneath the surface, the entire planet had been turned into a fortress. Tunnels connected weapon batteries across continents. Underground factories built ammunition day and night. "How many fighters do we have ready?" he asked his staff. 50,000 volunteers from the colonies," replied his aide Chan Wu. "Most of them have mining or construction experience. They know how to work in dangerous conditions. And ships? 2,000 converted mining vessels, 600 cargo haulers with hidden weapons, 300 passenger ships modified for combat." Taehyun nodded. It wasn't enough to fight the entire Galactic Council fleet, but it might be enough to surprise them. The key was making every shot count. In her intelligence center on Earth, Hyewan Kim continued monitoring alien communications. Her computers had finally broken through their encryption codes. What she found made her hands tremble. "Commander Kim," she called Jinwoo on the secure line. "I have more intelligence. The aliens are bringing their entire fleet, every ship from every member species. They want to make an example of us." "How many ships total?" Jinwoo asked. "Over 4,000 now. They're gathering at the edge of our solar system." Haiwan paused. "Sir, there's something else. They're broadcasting to other species, telling them to watch Earth's destruction. They want the whole galaxy to see what happens to species that refuse to obey." Jinwoo felt anger burn in his chest. "Then the whole galaxy will see what happens when you threaten humanity's children." In orbit around Earth, Bo-Ram Seo prepared her secret weapon. Her ship looked like a normal patrol cruiser from the outside. But hidden inside were Yujin's experimental dark energy systems. If the technology worked, her ship would be the first to use space itself as a weapon. "Captain, all systems show green," reported her weapons officer, Sungmin. "The dark energy generators are stable." Bo-Ram looked at the tactical display. The alien fleet was moving into attack position. Soon they would demand Earth surrender. When that moment came, humanity would give them an answer they would never forget. "All crews, this is Captain Seo," she broadcast to the hidden fleet. "In 30 minutes, we will show the galaxy that humans bow to no one. Today we fight not just for our lives, but for our right to exist as free beings." Back in the command bunker, So-Min Park watched the final preparations. Weapons came online across human space. Ships moved to battle positions. Millions of people prepared to fight against impossible odds. "Admiral," Jinwoo said as he joined her, "are you ready to make history?" So-Min thought about her son, serving on a destroyer near Pluto. She thought about her granddaughter, safe in a bunker on Earth. She thought about every human who had ever looked at the stars and dreamed of freedom. "The aliens think we're primitive," she said quietly. "They think our emotions make us weak. They're about to learn that human emotions can move mountains, boil oceans, and tear holes in space itself." The countdown continued. 48 hours remained. Across human space, ordinary people prepared to do extraordinary things. Teachers became gunners, farmers became pilots, miners became warriors. The entire human race was about to become something the galaxy had never seen before. Yujin Han made final adjustments to her dark energy weapon. "If this works," she told her team, "we'll change how wars are fought forever. And if it doesn't work?" Jae-won asked. Yujin smiled grimly. "Then we'll die as free humans instead of living as alien slaves." The preparations were almost complete. Soon, the Galactic Council would receive humanity's answer to their ultimatum. It would not be the answer they expected. The 72 hours were over. So-Min Park stood in the communication center, looking at the alien fleet on her screens. 4,000 ships waited at the edge of human space, their weapons pointed at Earth. "Open all channels," she ordered. "Every radio, every television, every communication device in human space. I want everyone to hear this," the technician nodded. "All channels open, Admiral." So-Min took a deep breath. Behind her, Jinwoo Kim and the other commanders waited. In bunkers across Earth, millions of people listened. On ships throughout the solar system, human crews prepared for battle. "High Arbiter Velmuth," So-Min spoke clearly into the microphone. "This is Admiral So-Min Park of the United Earth Defense Force. We have considered your ultimatum carefully." The alien's voice crackled through the speakers. "Have you come to your senses? Will you surrender?" "We decline your offer," So-Min said with steel in her voice. "We choose to remain free." Silence filled the communication channel. Then Velmoth's voice returned, filled with disbelief. "You cannot be serious. You have seen our fleet. You know you cannot win." "We know we might die," So-Min replied. "But we will die as humans, not as your slaves. Then you have chosen extinction. So be it." The channel went dead. On the tactical screens, the alien fleet began to move toward Earth. Their formation was perfect, exactly like their battle manuals taught. They had used the same tactics for 10,000 years. That was their first mistake. In the asteroid belt, Donghyun Bai watched his sensors. "Here they come," he told his civilian pilots. "Remember, they don't know we're here. Wait for my signal." The alien ships passed through the outer solar system like a metal storm. Their sensors swept space looking for human military vessels. They found a few patrol ships and some mining operations. Nothing that seemed dangerous. "All ships, this is Admiral So-Min Park." The voice came through every human radio. "Operation Nightfall is now active. Show them what humans can do." Donghyun smiled. "All units, drop the disguises. Let's introduce ourselves properly." Across the asteroid belt, hundreds of mining ships suddenly transformed. Hull plates fell away to reveal missile batteries. Cargo containers opened to show laser cannons. What the aliens thought were simple rock haulers became deadly warships. "Fire at will," Donghyun ordered. The first alien ship to die never knew what hit it. A mining laser, boosted with dark energy technology, cut through its shields like they were made of paper. The ship exploded in a ball of blue fire. More beams lanced out from hidden positions. Missiles streaked from fake cargo containers. The aliens' perfect formation began to break apart as ships exploded around them. "Impossible," Velmoth's voice screamed across the radio channels. "Where did these ships come from?" Near Neptune, Boram Seo activated her ship's experimental systems. The dark energy generator hummed to life, bending space around her vessel. Her ship seemed to flicker and fade, becoming hard to target. "Weapons officer, target their command ship," she ordered. "Ma'am, it's too far away." "Our weapons can't reach it," Boram smiled. "These aren't normal weapons. Fire." The dark energy cannon discharged with a sound like tearing fabric. The beam didn't travel through space, it folded space so that her ship and the alien command vessel were temporarily in the same location. The energy struck the alien ship's hull directly, tearing through armor that had never been breached in 1,000 battles. The alien commander's ship shuddered, but didn't explode. Its shields flickered and sparked. Emergency lights flashed along its hull. "What sorcery is this?" Felmoth demanded. "This is human science," Borum replied over the radio. "You thought we were primitive. You were wrong." On Mars, Tae-Hyun-Yoon watched as alien ships approached his planet. To them, it looked like a simple mining colony with light defenses. They planned to destroy it quickly and move on to Earth. "Wait until they're in the atmosphere," he told his gunners. "Let them get close." The alien ships descended toward Mars like birds of prey. Their sensors detected some weapon emplacements, nothing they couldn't handle easily. They prepared to blast the human settlements from orbit. That was their second mistake. "Fire everything," Tae-Hyun ordered. Mars erupted with light and thunder. Hidden cannon batteries rose from beneath the planet's surface. Missile silos opened in crater walls. The entire planet had been turned into one massive weapons platform. The alien ships found themselves flying into a storm of fire. Their shields overloaded from the constant bombardment. Ships began to fall from the sky, crashing into the red desert in balls of flame. "The entire planet is a fortress," one alien captain reported in panic. "We're taking massive casualties." Yu Jinhan watched from her laboratory as her weapons performed beyond all expectations. The dark energy systems worked perfectly. Human ships were bending space, making impossible shots, appearing and disappearing like ghosts. "Doctor, the energy readings are incredible," J1 reported. "It's like the weapons are feeding on something more than just our generators." Yu-Jin studied the data. He was right. The dark energy output was much higher than their calculations predicted. Something was amplifying their weapons' power. Then she realized what it was. Human emotion. Human determination. Human fury at being threatened with extinction. Somehow their collective will to survive was feeding into the dark energy field, making their weapons stronger. "Incredible," she whispered. "Our emotions aren't making us weak. They're making us powerful." General Wu Jin Nam coordinated the defense from Earth's surface. Across 6 continents, hidden launch sites opened. Missiles that could bend space-time streaked toward the alien fleet. "Sir, we're getting reports from all fronts," his aide reported. "The aliens are taking heavy losses. They're confused and disorganized." "Good. But this is just the beginning. When they recover from the shock, they'll fight back hard." Jinwoo Kim stood in the main command center watching the battle unfold. The aliens had expected easy victory against primitive humans. Instead, they were facing technology they didn't understand and tactics they had never seen. "Hee-Wan, what are you hearing from their communications?" he asked. "Panic, sir," Hee-Wan Kim replied from her intelligence station. "They're trying to figure out how we developed dark energy weapons. They're arguing about whether to retreat or call for reinforcements. Let them argue. Every minute they waste is another minute for our people to hurt them." The battle raged across the solar system. Human ships struck from unexpected angles, using dark energy to appear and disappear like phantoms. Alien vessels found their ancient tactics useless against an enemy that refused to fight by the rules. Captain Min-jae Lee commanded a converted passenger liner in the fight near Jupiter. His crew was made up of teachers, doctors, and shop owners, ordinary people who had volunteered to defend their homes. "Sir, alien crews are closing on our position," his gunner reported. "Show them what civilians can do," Min-jae ordered. "Fire all weapons." The passenger liner's hidden guns opened fire. The alien ship's captain probably died still wondering how a civilian transport could carry such powerful weapons. The tide of battle was turning. The aliens had superior numbers, but humans had superior determination. Every human ship fought like it was defending the last free place in the galaxy, because it was. Velmoth watched in horror as his mighty fleet was torn apart by creatures he had dismissed as barely civilized. The humans fought with a fury that made no sense. They should have been terrified, but instead they seemed angry. "All ships fall back to defensive positions," he ordered. "We need to reassess the situation." But it was too late for defensive positions. The humans weren't giving them time to think. Ships appeared out of nowhere, struck hard, and vanished again. Space itself seemed to be fighting against the Council fleet. The first phase of the battle was ending. The aliens were retreating, licking their wounds, trying to understand what had gone wrong. They had learned that humans were not the primitive species they had thought. Soon they would learn that human fury, once awakened, did not easily sleep again. Jinwoo Kim stood in the cold white room aboard the space station. His uniform felt heavy on his shoulders as he watched the alien being float before him. The creature looked like a giant crystal with many sharp edges. Its voice came from everywhere and nowhere at once. "I am High Arbiter Velmoth," the alien said. "I speak for the Galactic Council. We have made our final decision about your species." So-Min Park, the Earth Admiral, crossed her arms. She had gray hair and tired eyes from many years of service. Next to her, Hyun-Soo Lee adjusted his diplomat clothes. He looked nervous but tried to hide it. "What decision?" Jinwoo asked. He kept his voice steady even though his heart was beating fast. The crystal alien's light grew brighter. "Humans have become too dangerous. Your weapons grow stronger every year. Your ships travel farther into space. Other species fear you." "We have done nothing wrong," So-Min said. Her voice was sharp like a blade. "That is not the point," Velmoth replied. "Your potential for destruction is too great. The Council has voted. You have 72 hours to surrender all weapons. You must accept our guidance. You will move to special worlds we have chosen for you." Jinwoo felt cold anger rise in his chest. "You want us to give up our freedom. You will give up your weapons and your colonies. You will live where we tell you to live. You will do what we tell you to do. This is mercy." Many council members wanted to destroy Earth completely. Hyun-Soo stepped forward. "What if we refuse?" The alien's crystal body pulsed with red light. "Then you will be removed from the galaxy permanently." The room fell silent. Jinwoo could hear his own breathing. He thought about Earth, about the blue oceans and green forests. He thought about his daughter playing in their garden. He thought about all the humans working, dreaming, living their lives. 72 hours, Velmoth said again. "Choose wisely." The alien vanished in a flash of light. The three humans stood alone in the white room. "They want to put us in cages," So-Min said quietly. "Worse," Jinwoo replied. "They want to make us pets." Down on Earth, Min-Ho Choi received the message in his office. He was young for an admiral, only 35 years old. His hands shook as he read the council's demands. He reached for his emergency phone. "Code red," he said when the voice answered. "Contact all fleet commanders. Contact all colony leaders. The aliens have given us an ultimatum." In her laboratory, Yoo-Jin Han was working late again. She was trying to solve the mystery of dark energy. Her team had been working on this project for 3 years. When her communication device beeped, she almost ignored it. Then she saw the priority level. "All leave is canceled," the message said. "Report to command immediately." "This is not a drill." Yoo-Jin saved her work and ran from the lab. As she drove through the city streets, she saw military vehicles everywhere. Soldiers were setting up barriers. People were gathering in groups, talking in worried voices. At the command center, she found chaos. Officers were shouting orders. Screens showed troop movements across 6 continents. General Woo-Jin Nam was pointing at a map while talking to several colonels. "Dr. Han," Min-Ho called out when he saw her. "We need Project Prometheus ready now." "It's not ready," Yoo-Jin said. "We need at least 6 more months of testing." "We don't have 6 months. We have 68 hours. Yoo-Jin felt her stomach drop. "What happened?" Min-Ho told her about the Council's ultimatum. As she listened, Yoo-Jin's fear turned to anger. She thought about her research, about the breakthrough they were so close to achieving. The aliens thought humans were primitive. They had no idea what humans could really do. "I'll need my entire team," she said. "You have whatever you need." On the mining station near Jupiter, Tai Hyun-Yoon was training new miners when the alert came. The big man had worked in space for 15 years. He had strong hands and a quick mind. The miners trusted him. "Listen up," he told the group of 20 men and women. "The aliens want us to surrender. They want to put us on prison worlds." One of the younger miners, a woman named Eun-jung, raised her hand. "What do we do?" "We fight," Taehyun said simply. "We've been preparing for this day. You all know the real purpose of our training." The miners nodded. For months they had been learning more than just rock cutting. They had learned ship combat, weapon systems, and battle tactics. The mining equipment could be quickly changed into weapons. The mining ships were built stronger than they looked. "Are we really going to war with the entire galaxy?" another miner asked. "If we have to," Taehyun replied. "Freedom isn't free. Our ancestors knew that. Now it's our turn to prove it." Back on Earth, Jinwoo met with the Emergency Council. Leaders from every nation sat around the table. They had been planning for this day, but it still felt like a nightmare. "How many ships do they have?" asked the president of the European Union. "Over 3,000, so men answered, representing 12 different species. Their technology is centuries ahead of ours in most areas." "Most areas?" the Chinese premier asked. Jinwu smiled grimly. "We have some surprises they don't know about." For 10 years, Earth had been secretly preparing. While the aliens watched human cities and counted human ships, they missed the hidden factories. They missed the secret training programs. They missed the research projects buried deep underground. "Dr. Han says Project Prometheus might work," Minho reported, "but it's never been tested at full power." "Then we test it now," Jinwu said. "What other choice do we have?" As the meeting continued, Hee-Wan Kim sat in her intelligence office listening to alien communications. She was the best code breaker in the Earth Defense Force. Her computers were analyzing every signal from the Council fleet. What she found made her blood run cold. The aliens were lying. There were no prison worlds. There were no special colonies for humans. The Council planned to kill every human in the galaxy. The surrender was just a trick to make the job easier. Hee-Wan grabbed her files and ran to Jinwu's office. She burst through the door without knocking. "Commander, they're going to kill us all," she said, breathing hard. "The relocation is fake. They want us to surrender so they can murder us without a fight." Jinwu looked at the intelligence reports. His jaw tightened. He thought about his daughter again, about all the children on Earth who would never grow up if the Council had their way. "Then we have nothing to lose," he said quietly. The countdown had begun. 64 hours remained. Across human space, people prepared for the greatest battle in their species' history. They did not know if they would win. They only knew they would not surrender. The aliens had made their choice. Now humanity would make theirs.